A prophet named Yunus, alayhis salam, ran from Allah into total darkness. Not a metaphor. He was thrown into open water. Something enormous rose up from underneath him, and it closed around his entire body. This isn't a myth passed down through generations. It's recorded in the Quran, in exact detail, about a real prophet of Allah. His name was Yunus, alayhis salam, known in some traditions as Jonah, and Allah had sent him to a large city called Nineveh. His job was simple: call the people back to worshiping Allah alone. And for a while, he did exactly that. But the people of Nineveh didn't listen. They mocked him, ignored him, and went right on with their lives as if he'd said nothing at all. And at some point, Yunus, peace be upon him, did something no other prophet in the Quran is recorded doing quite like this. He got up and left. Not because Allah told him to. He left in frustration, before permission ever came. He walked to the coast and got on a ship. That decision should have been the end of the story. Instead, it's where the real story starts. Out at sea, the ship ran into a storm so violent it nearly broke apart. The crew became convinced someone on board was cursed, and that the sea wouldn't calm down until that person was gone. So they did what sailors of that era did in a crisis like this. They cast lots, a kind of ancient lottery, to decide who'd be thrown overboard. The lot fell on Yunus, alayhis salam. They cast it again. It fell on him again. A third time, same result. Break. So they threw him into the sea. That's when something rose up beneath him that no one on that ship could have prepared for. A massive fish, sometimes described as a whale, opened its mouth. It swallowed him whole, alive. Here's the part everyone gets wrong, thinking this is just a strange survival tale with a dramatic setting. It isn't. What happened inside that darkness is the actual point. The Quran describes Yunus, alayhis salam, as being surrounded by 3 separate layers of darkness at once. Picture it like this. You're not just in a dark room. You're in a dark room inside a sealed building, inside a mountain, with no light source anywhere in any direction. That's the layering the Quran describes. The darkness of the fish's belly. The darkness of the deep sea around the fish. And the darkness of the night above the sea. 3 darknesses, stacked on top of each other, with a single human being trapped at the center of all of it. Yunus, peace be upon him, didn't scream. He didn't go silent either. He did the one thing a person in his position could still do. He spoke. He called out to Allah, admitting something most of us find almost impossible to say out loud, that he'd been wrong. Whisper. There is no God but you. Glory be to you. I have truly been one of the wrongdoers. That's it. That's the whole prayer. No long list of excuses, no bargaining, no promises about what he'd do differently. Just an honest admission, spoken from what should have been the most hopeless place a human being could be. And Allah answered him. The Quran states it directly. Allah delivers those in distress when they call upon him. That line has become one of the most repeated in the entire religion. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, is reported to have said something remarkable about it. Any believer who calls on Allah with this same prayer will have their prayer answered. That promise started inside the body of a fish. The fish released him. Some accounts describe him washed up on a shore, sick and completely spent, like someone who'd survived something the body was never meant to survive. And here's the part that changes everything about how you should read this story. While Yunus alayhis salam was gone, something was happening back in Nineveh. The city he'd walked away from in frustration. The people he'd given up on had started to see the punishment coming. Not a prophet's warning this time. The signs themselves closing in. And for the first time, they didn't ignore it. They gathered together, adults and children, and they turned back to Allah, genuinely, all at once, before it was too late. Ask yourself something for a second. How many warnings do you get in your own life that you brush off completely, right up until the moment it's almost too late to change course? Because of what that city did next, something happened that the Quran says happened to no other nation in recorded history. The punishment that was already closing in was lifted. Completely. Nineveh became the one city named in the Quran whose people believed in time, and whose belief actually saved them. Yunus, peace be upon him, had walked away from a people he thought would never change. And while he was in the darkest place a person can be, they were doing the very thing he'd spent years asking them to do. So look at what actually happened here. A prophet lost patience with people who wouldn't listen. He left before he was allowed to. And that decision led him somewhere so dark, so enclosed, that the only thing left to do was tell the truth to Allah. Meanwhile, the very people he gave up on used the time he was gone to do the one thing that could have saved them. And it did. That's the real shape of this story. Not a whale. Not a storm. A man who thought he'd failed completely, and a city that proved his mission wasn't wasted after all. If there's a moment in your own life where you feel like you've messed up too badly to come back from it, this is the story to remember. Maybe you said the wrong thing. Maybe you walked away from something you shouldn't have. Maybe you made a decision in frustration you can't undo. Yunus, alayhis salam, wasn't saved because he'd earned it through good behavior. He was saved because, in the darkest, most closed-off place imaginable, he told the truth and turned back. Which means that door doesn't close for you either. Not for him and not for you.